Again, remember, you're making your predictions right now. All right, looks like our predictions are in. So let's get a response. Would you like to be cloned? Raise your hand for yes, or don't do anything for no. Interesting. All right, you guys are in line with one of my previous classes too, 0. So no one wants to meet themselves? Huh? Great. Okay, I will tally up the points a little bit later. Oh, I did see a thumbs up there. I'll tally up the points later for declare the winner after we've done another activity, but I don't want you guys to just sit and watch me while I'm doing that now. Okay, time to get a little bit technical. I'm just going to do a very short Canvas tour here, build on what we discussed in our previous class. Again, I think hopefully you've taken the time to explore this on your own, but what I'll draw your attention to is the Disease and Public Health Canvas homepage. Please take some time to explore this. I use announcements for announcing the next lesson, as well as what the homework will be for our next meeting. In the little Bitmoji classroom, there's a variety of resources there, chiefly the link to our Zoom classroom and to my email, good way to contact me. If you click on my little cartoon character there, it goes to a little About Me page. If you're curious, I've got a bit of an international background. I was actually born in Nairobi, Kenya, in Africa. My dad worked for the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and so I actually lived in Africa until I was 10 years old, in Zambia and mostly in Zimbabwe, which is in southern Africa. We then moved to Europe, so I went to middle school and high school in Rome, Italy, but I went to an American international school, so that's why I don't have an Italian accent. I wish I had an Italian accent, but that didn't pan out. I spent every summer of my life here, though, in the Monterey Bay area. That my parents are both from here. And so I'm familiar with this area. I have childhood memories from it. But I didn't actually live in the United States till I went to college. I went to a tiny college in Maine called Bowdoin College. Graduated in 2008. I had a master's in, or a major in biology. And I joined the Peace Corps. Anyone ever heard of the Peace Corps? It's a volunteer service overseas. It's for college graduates, and you spend 2 years in a foreign country doing some kind of service. I was sent to a tiny country in West Africa called the Gambia. And I taught in a rural village school. I lived in a village, no running water, no electricity. Did that for 2 years. And then I actually extended for a 3rd year, and I worked for Peace Corps itself. I helped train new volunteers coming into the country. Met my wife there. She was a fellow volunteer. When I got back to the US about 2011, I knew I wanted to teach, but I didn't really have any credentials or proper training other than Peace Corps. So I worked at a charter school in Boston for a year as an assistant teacher and got a lot of training. And I was lucky enough to get hired at Stevenson back in 2012. Been here ever since. This is my 9th year. I started out as a biology and chemistry teacher, and now I'm doing this integrated science. Coached cross-country basketball before. And I'm currently working on a master's through Washington University in St. Louis, which is both online and on campus over the summer. I'm almost done with that. So I'm hoping to implement a lot of what I've learned, especially in that master's program in this course, because a lot of it did pertain to immunology. So I'm happy to chat about any of that if you're curious about how I got into those things. There are a couple links right above the wiki calendar that I think are important. The second from the bottom, course expectations and policies. If you click on that, it takes you to a course description that I would like you to read through. It's all my contact information, the materials you need, everything you would hopefully want to know about the course, classroom expectations when you're on the computer. If you're curious about how things are going to be graded, tests and quizzes are going to be 25% of your grade, which is the same value as classwork and homework. The more valuable assignments are going to be labs, projects, and activities. Those are going to be 40% of your grade. And we'll have a number of those that'll be spread out, so there'll be lots of opportunities to get good scores in there. Participation will be 10%. And what I mean by participation is actually more sort of online posting, because I know some people are going to be asynchronous, can't be in class all the time. Your participation grade will not suffer because of that. It's more that we'll be using Canvas discussions, Flipgrid, a number of different things where you can post and respond to each other. And as long as you're doing that, then that's what your participation grade is based on. At the end of the semester, which this is only a single semester course, so we'll wrap up in January, I will take your grade as it stands and make that 85%, and then your final exam will make up the last 15%. But I'll talk more about that in January as that's coming. The rest of the course description is just description of online resources. It's good to keep your computer organized. If you don't already have a disease and public health class folder, either on your computer or in your Google Drive, it's a good thing to do. Then everything you download for this course, you can just throw in there. And then there's the academic honesty statements for both the school and science department specifically. My one deal with that is everything that we do is going to be open notes and open book. I tend to be pretty lenient. Please, if you're feeling unprepared or if you need more time on something, check in with me about it. You don't need to take that extra step or try to copy something. Chat with me, and I'm more than willing to help you out with different things and give you extensions where needed. The last link to show you right above the weekly calendar is a course map. That's actually a calendar for the entire fall semester. So I just made a calendar from now until January, and I did my best to try to fill in exactly what I'm hoping to do. Each lesson, a rough idea. I don't think I'm going to follow this perfectly, but should give you an idea of when tests are going to be and what we'll be covering as we go. Again, I'm hoping to do about 6 units. First unit will be non-communicable disease stuff, everything from heart attacks to diabetes. Then we'll get into the communicable disease and infectious disease. We'll get into immunology and our defenses in unit 3. And then unit 4 is how humans have shaped disease. And then we'll look at how disease has shaped humans. So there'll be a little bit of history there and kind of mixing together everything we've done in those first few units. And we'll end with a look at epidemics and pandemics, specifically COVID-19. And you'll be doing a little research project of your own, hopefully kind of bringing together everything that we've touched on in the course. And that'll lead into our final exam. Those are the main things I wanted to touch on. Any questions on the course description or calendar, or just the homepage in general? All right. You always have that discussion board you can post questions to, or just email me, and I can help you out in that way. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is a little activity, again, giving us an opportunity to get to know each other. On the tasks list for today, this is step number 4. It's called a Google Slide Collage activity. Share my screen with you for 1 second here. I would like you to make something like this. This is an example slide I made, and it's literally just a Google slide that I put a background into and inserted a bunch of images. And I'd like you to make a collage to represent your summer, your home, and your area of interest in disease and health that you shared earlier. So I just chose kind of a stock image of a person. That's the guy in the suit in the middle. The reason he's holding a baby is because my wife and I had our second baby this summer on June 30th. Our second daughter, Piper, was born. So my whole summer has been changing diapers and carrying pacifiers. That's why I have those there. I have an orange tabby cat at home named Sam. That's why he's at my feet. I have an older daughter who is 2.5. Took her on a lot of bike rides. That's why I have the bike with the bike seat there. We did a lot of riding in the valley, so we saw a lot of cows. She loves seeing cows, so I threw that in there. Watched a number of documentaries this summer, including ESPN's special called The Last Dance, which is all about the Bulls in the 1990s. So it's pretty fascinating. That's why Michael Jordan's on the wall behind me. And I am fascinated by immunology and human immune system, so I threw a little poster up there on the wall behind me as well. So again, on that tasks to complete, this is step number 4. I have instructions there. And there's a link right there to Google Slide Collage Activity Instructions. If you click on that, it takes you to a Google Doc. There I have a link to my example slide, a link to a video where I walk you through exactly what to do, or I have written instructions right there as well. I know it looks like a lot, but it's because I'm telling you exactly what to click on. So please use this to guide you through. I'm gonna give you the next 15 minutes or so to work on this, and then we'll come back together to wrap things up. As usual, I will be here listening if you need help on anything. So I'll time this for 15 minutes. Go for it. Minutes is up. Come to a stopping point. Turn your camera back on and come back on into the room. Just tallying up the points of our little competition. And so our winners for the little split decision thing, it's a tie between William McMillan and Zach Robinson with 3 points each. Way to go, guys. All right, how was that activity? Were most of you able to find the images you needed to? All right. We don't have enough time to do any shares right now, but my hope is that at the start of each lesson, all of next week, we'll just start off with a share and we'll do 4 or 5 of you at a time until everyone's done. And then I'll find somewhere to collect them all. You can all go look at each other's if you want. somewhere easily accessible on Canvas. But remember, please, to type the little description in the teacher's notes box at the bottom as well. I like the ones I was seeing so far as I was downloading them, so, or adding them to my drive. Okay, last thing to touch on is just the homework for Tuesday. It's right there at the bottom of the tasks to complete list for this lesson. You need to finish your Google slide collage and the written description at the bottom. Please take some time to read through the course description and the calendar that I was showing you, even if you're just skimming over them. Good information there. You have your first reading assignment and a reading quiz. The reading is going to be from this book, The Woman with a Worm in Her Head. Again, don't panic if you don't have this book. I have provided scanned pages. So if you look at that last line there, it says, if you do not have a copy of Nagami, who's the author of this, here's a digital scan of the relevant pages. It's just the first 10 pages of the introduction and forward. So that's there for you to read. If you don't have this book, don't worry. Once you've done the reading, you can take the little reading quiz. It's just a homework assignment quiz. But if you click on that right there, Nagami, it's Woman with a Worm in Her Head, forward and intro reading reflection. It'll take you to this Canvas quiz. I think it's about 6 questions or so. You can have the book open in front of you. You can refer to whatever you need to while taking the quiz. Most of the questions are going to be more opinion-based and just getting you to reflect on what you read. And we'll just reflect on that a bit when we come back together on Tuesday. Any questions about the homework? All right, kiddos. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.